Hello everyone, welcome back to another reading, another video. Today's video we have 4 piles and we're going to see about what your ops secretly admire about you. So this is like your competitor, or perhaps the people that proclaim to be the one who don't like you, who's also known as your haters, but kind of secretly admire about you. That's why, exactly what the title said. We have 4 piles in front of you. You're allowed to see more than 1 pile, especially the ones who believe they have a lot of haters. We have 4 piles. I'm sorry, I was kidding. We have pile number 1, vision, pile number 2, Kali, pile number 3, witch's head, and pile number 4, cast a circle. Jealousy is a disease, and we're gonna see what kind of disease these people have deep down. Let's jump right into it. Take a look into the cards, and let's take a look into what the cards has to say. Alright, there, pile number 1, you chose vision. We have the 3 of cups, the ace of cups, the queen of swords, familiar, and the knight of pentacles. Oh, this is good, because your ops act like they're unbuttered. This is probably the type of people that kind of like, yeah, we don't like you, we don't hate you, we just are, but deep down they're kind of like resent you, but they absolutely do have discussion about you. Let's get into it. The 3 of cups and the ace of cups in here. Girl, this is the one who's like looking like they don't care, the ones that somehow always know what you're doing though. On top of that, yep. So what they secretly admire about you, I feel like you're naturally magnetic in a way that is not forced, like you don't have to overperform. There's something about you, like you don't have to beg for attention, and you just have to kind of, you don't always have to insert yourself, and somehow people just gravitate towards you. And I think what really butters your ops is that it's not because you're loud or desperate for validation. It's because your energy feels actually good. So yeah, back to the 3 of cups and ace of cups together. This is the kind of person who people feel safe celebrating with. It's like you're the friend people call when they're happy. You're like the person people open up to without realizing, and they just kind of like trauma dumping in 15 minutes, So you make space for people emotionally, and you don't do it in a performative way. It kind of just feels natural to you. And I think this is the part that they don't understand, is that you're warm, absolutely yes, but you're not naive, because we have the Queen of Swords here, and this energy is very much like, I can love you, but I can see straight right through you. And I think this is what unsettles them, because they can't manipulate you the way they thought they would. It's like they can't confuse you. They can't twist the narrative around you easily. You might react, you might not react like immediately, and I think that's what they most of the time miscalculate, that they can just pass through it, but I think you kind of observe everything. And the familiar card here, this is the intuitive cat energy here. You kind of always know where something is off, like you might not confront it right away though. You just kind of feel it, and file it in the back of your mind. And I think you continuing to move how you want to be accordingly. And I think they actually admire that you don't explode, you don't chase, like you don't beg for explanation, you don't put dramatic performances to prove a point. You simply kind of just adjust your access to people. And I think that quiet detachment is power, especially these days. So I think that's one of it. So let's talk about the Knight of Pentacles, because this is a part where I think it really humbles them. You are steady. I feel like even when you go through emotional things, like you don't fall apart publicly, you don't sabotage your own growth, you don't derail your entire life just because someone disappoints you. You keep building and building consistently, quietly, slowly. Some of you are these quote-unquote haters, I think, expect you to crack at some point. They expect you to lose the momentum, They expected you to spiral, but instead what here? You keep improving. And I think that butters them, because they might have had projected their own instability to you. Like you're the kind of person who doesn't need instant results. You understand timing. You actually do. You understand patience, right? And you understand real growth is not loud. So I think that's what your ops secretly admire, your vision into something. Like you don't get stuck in a petty energy. You don't let temporary emotion block your long-term goals. Like you don't let one person define your self-worth. You move with intention. So I think in private they say things kind of like, they're kind of actually smart about it, or that maybe people kind of said about you that you were not as emotional as they thought it would be. Sucks to be them, I guess, but like people really do appreciate you. And I think that's kind of also like, oh, like, anyway, like, I don't really care about it anyway, as if like they're not just pointing every single thing about you. So yeah, I don't think you don't act unbothered too, like, you're selective about what deserves your energy. And I think that's quite different. And the truth is, I think some people don't even hate you. They're just kind of intimidated by your emotional balance, because you represents the level of maturity they're still trying to grow into. You don't react from ego. You don't compete for crumbs. Like, you don't need chaos to feel alive. You know who you are. And I think, and even if you still becoming that person, maybe you're still on your growth and you're going to the version of yourself that's like fully who you are, but I think you move like someone who kind of trusts themselves. And I think that's kind of hard to master, rare to master even. So even if you ever wondered why they see, your growth, if they ever see your growth, your grace, your quiet strength, the answer is they absolutely do. They just can't complement it without feeling small. Like I said, sucks to be them. And I think, just to let you know that that's not your burden to carry, like, your vision is quite clear. So keep walking. Let's jump right into the next part. Oh, yes, pile one. We have here the Lady of the Gift, the Dragon's Jewel, the Winged Wise One. I think this is where the jealousy kind of get layered, because I think we're talking about your power is like it moves in a ways that they can't copy. Like I said, sucks to be this pile's haters. Alright then, if the spread first, like we have before this about your emotional intelligence and steady growth, this one is all about the part of you that actually triggers people. And I mean triggers here. The Lady of the Gift, it's giving this like naturally blessed type of person, like not lucky in a shallow way, blessed in a way that feels very aligned, like things come to you at the right time. Like opportunities just suddenly find you. Like doors open when they should, and your Opps swear you kind of had this secret advantage. Like, I mean, they would literally be saying anything, but like they would swear you kind of like, oh my god, they have it so easy, and like they always land on their feet and they just get handed things, but like the truth is that what they don't want to admit, I think, you receive it because you're open. You give because you're generous, You don't block your own blessings with the bitterness. I mean, yeah, with that kind of mindset, nothing comes to you, but like you're not like that. So I think they admit that your ability to accept good things, without feeling guilty for it. A lot of people struggle with that. I don't know if you know that, but most of the people sabotage when things starts going well. They question it, they shrink themselves. But you, however, collective, you say thank you and you keep moving. And I think that's a powerful thing to have. And let's talk about the Dragon's Jewel, because this is quite messy, because this card is like literally all about inner conflict, ego battles, light versus shadow. And I think your Opps, they try to project their inner battles onto you. You force people to confront themselves. Like, not because you're doing anything wrong though, but because your present highlight their insecurities. Like, if they feel competitive, it's because they see you as competition. If they feel small, it's because you're standing tall. If they feel exposed, it's because you're authentic. And instead of saying, oh my god, it's so inspiring, and like they inspire you so much, and they are like amazing, some of them kind of like go, why does this person's existence irritate the fuck out of me? So, but yeah, secretly they admire that you don't crumble under a lot of pressure. You've been in situations, I think, where people try to bait you into drama, try to test your ego, try to see if you would snap, but you didn't. So yeah, if you did respond, even like you responded quite strategically. So the Dragon's Dual energy says also that you've mastered your own shadow. You face your insecurities. You've done some inner work, and when someone try to poke at you, you're not reacting from your wounds anymore because you've done the work, right? And I think that's threatening to people who still ruled, by their own insecurities and shadows. And then we have the Winged Wise Ones. This is the part where I think it very much humbles your Opps. You're guided, like, whether that's like spiritual, intuitively, whatever you believe in, even though it's like it could be just a strong discernment. I feel like you move like someone who listens to the higher wisdom. Like, you don't rush into decision because you're emotional. You don't follow the crowd because it's loud. You pause, you observe, you wait for clarity, and somehow you make the right move often. yes than not. And I think they notice that. They notice that you don't stay stuck. You actually evolve. You outgrow situations gracefully. Like, you don't have to prove yourself in every argument. You don't fight every battle. You pick your battle, and that's wisdom. So I hear the gossip, birdie gossip told me that something in your back, the gossip in your back might sound kind of like, I don't know how they do it, but like things just kind of work out for them. And they always seem so calm, like they just know something. It's like they're protected or something, like they don't react the way normal people would, so that's the tea. Your Opps low-key feel you're protected. And because every time they thought something would break you, it didn't, Like every single time they thought you would lose, you adapted instead. Every time they expect you to be humbled, you elevated. And the beautiful part of it is that even if people don't clap for you publicly, I think energetically they still kind of respect you, because you embody someone who accepts blessings and don't lose themselves in ego wars, and you move with higher awareness. You trust your intuition and perhaps growth through the conflict instead of drowning in it. And that's something you cannot fake, And so, yeah, I think some people claim to dislike you. Some may even compete with you quietly, but I think deep down, they admire your grace under pressure. They admire your ability to receive. They admire that you don't let the inner chaos run your life. And most of all, I think they admit that you don't have to fight to be powerful. You kind of just are. Right? So yeah, that's what we have in here for you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hope this resonates. Bye bye. Hello there, pile number 2. You chose Kali here. We have the 10 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, the 6 of Cups, transformation, 4 of Pentacles. Pile 2 really said, like, we are not soft, we are powerful and unforgettable. Because first of all, the fact that you chose the pile that's have a literal Kali on it, this tells me that your Opps don't hate you because you're weak. They hate you because you survived something that was meant to end you. So this is quite an intense one. Let's talk about what they secretly admire, because they do admire you, collective. They don't just like, I think they absolutely admire you. They just don't like how it will paint them perhaps here, because the 10 of Pentacles right away tells me that you carry this legacy energy. You're not small, you're not temporary, that. You do know this. Like, you don't move like someone who's just here for attention. You move like someone who's building something that will outlast the drama. Even if you still figure things out, right? You carry energy like someone who knows they're meant for long-term stability, family, security, generational elevation, respect, generational wealth, and your Opps see that. They do see that. They see that you're bigger than petty arguments. They see that you're playing the long game. That's intimidating, because most of the people, only know how to live moment to moment. Now, this is where it gets messy, because we have the 5 of Swords. I feel so bad for laughing for this, but like, I'm laughing for you. Let me just call it out. There could have been some conflict here around you, with the 5 of Swords. It could be competition, misunderstandings, or power struggles. Someone definitely tried to one up you or one outsmart you at some point in time, but what they secretly admire is that you never begged to win. You didn't need to humiliate anyone to feel powerful. Even if you walked away from something that looked like kind of like a loss on the surface, you kept your dignity, and that eats people alive, because 5 of Swords is ego. It's like, I need to win at all costs. And you, collective, you reach a point where you realize some battles are just not worth your energy. You chose peace over proving. That's power right there. Now the 6 of Cups adds perhaps another specific layer. You have a softness that people don't expect. There's something nostalgic about you, something innocent. It's like something pure-hearted. So you might remind people of who they used to be before life hardened them. And I think that triggers some people very deeply, because I think they see you that you've been through something, yet for some reason you didn't lose your heart. That's very rare and very hard to master. And I think they might even think that, think about you more than they would admit. Probably think about yourself more than they think about themselves. Like, they replay conversations, they replay memories, and wonder perhaps like how you moved on from this situation so gracefully. And then we get the transformation. This is the part that they cannot deny, literally, because you changed. not in a loud dramatic like look at me type of way. It's like it's in a real way. You shed something, an old version of yourself, an old attachment, old mindset, and perhaps the people who knew you before, they do notice the difference. You're not who you used to be. So instead of breaking you, whatever you went through refine you. That's Kali energy, destruction that leads to rebirth. Your Opps secretly do admire your ability to burn down what no longer serves you and rebuild stronger. Some of them are just still holding on to situation that outgrew them years ago. And finally, the Four of Pentacles. This is boundaries collective. This is like access denied type of energy. I think this is you no longer giving the energy so freely to people who didn't value it, And I think, oh boy, this does butter them in a big way because they admire that you learn how to protect yourself. Like you don't overshare like you used to. You don't pour endlessly to people who don't reciprocate. You don't let anyone into your plans anymore, You become selective perhaps. And now people have to earn that what once they had freely, those access. And I think that shift, that really like it's giving shook, it shook them because I think people have been saying that, oh my god, collective pile 2, they change, like they're not the same anymore. They're like a lot more distance, they don't react like they used to. And exactly that, you evolved. And that's the part they will never say it out loud. They respect the hell out of you for it. They admire that you prioritize long-term success. You don't fight pointless battles. You still have a soft heart underneath those strengths. Like you reinvent yourself necessary when it is necessary, You protect your energy like it is your lifeline in it. Like you're not easy to access anymore. And I think that makes your presence more valuable. That Kali energy is not about being liked by everyone, Probably you have like so many people who don't like you. I mean, you say that, But I think that it's being about being powerful enough, like to transform, even if it makes people uncomfortable, because at some point it will make people uncomfortable, right? So if someone acts cold towards you, distant, competitive, or slightly bitter, just know that they're not mad because you failed. They're mad because you level up without needing their approval. And that, baby boo, that is unforgettable. So let's take a look into the next spread. Pile 2. You're not playing fair, because this section right here is like the part they don't really want to admit out loud. We have the Rainbow Prince, the Altar Princess. We have 4 cards specifically for this deck, only for the for the second spread. I just remember that. And the Lady of Lightning and the Spiral Dancer. Okay, in the last spread we talk about your transformation and boundaries, right? This one is all about the power after those glow up. The Rainbow Prince immediately tells me something very specific. You did bounce back, like you're not just, it's not only emotionally, it's mentally, socially, energetically. Some of your Opps genuinely thought that after a loss, an ending, conflict, or betrayal, you would struggle longer than you did, and somehow opportunities find you, support still finds you. Talk about blessed, right? Love still finds you, luck still finds you, and they don't understand it how. Literally, they always say things like, oh my god, they always recover for some reason, and like, everything just works out for them. But I think what they secretly admire here is your resilience. Like you don't see it in the defeat energy. You don't wear victimhood like a badge, like with the actual fluff, right? Like even if you go through something painful, you move through it, and it irritates them literally, because some people can stay stuck for years, and you don't. Let's move on to the Altar Priestess. This is where the intimidation comes in. You have depth. I feel like you have this spiritual presence, perhaps, like, and I don't even mean it in a religious type of way, It's like, I mean, when you walk into the room, you don't feel empty. You feel grounded, like aware, intentional. You don't just exist, You observed here. You make people feel seen around you, not in a comfortable way anyway. Here, your Opps, I think, secretly admire that you have inner discipline, your connection to something higher, and probably your ability to sit with yourself. Like you're not afraid of silence, like you're not afraid of introspection. And some of them can't be alone with their own thoughts. You can, and that's power. And then we have the Lady of Lightning, and oh boy, this is your sudden elevation. This is like the plot twist energy. This is when people underestimated you, then you did something that really shocked them. Maybe you cut someone off without warning, maybe you changed your lifestyle, maybe you leveled up physically, mentally, financially, maybe you should said that one sentence that ended the whole argument. The thing is that you're just capable of instant shift, and I think your Opps admire that because it takes courage to change quickly. Most people hesitate, most people second guess. You collective, when you decide, like you're not afraid to disturb your own comfort zone. I think that light and energy makes people feel very nervous deep down because they know how you can be very unpredictable in the best way possible, and perhaps like you're not stagnant, you're not stuck in the old patterns here. And finally, we have the Spiral Dancer. This is the growth that never stops. This card, you evolve in layers. Every time someone thinks they figure you out, you shift it. You're just someone else already. You're playful with your evolution. You don't see change as scary, you see it as natural. Your Opps secretly admire that. You don't cling to the old identities, like you don't hold on to pride just to avoid admitting that you've outgrown something. You will pivot, you will reinvent, you will learn, and you will try again, and you don't look embarrassed doing it, So I think that fluidity that you have, that confidence, that's very magnetic. And so I would say people have been just saying that, oh my god, they're like a lot more spiritual now, and like they change so fast. And it's like the things that should be bothering you, you're not bothered with it anymore. It's just that things just doesn't happen. It's just like you've moved on. And I think that irritates them because like you did move on, like not because it didn't hurt, because you refused to stay where you're not going to grow in there. So yeah, and I think the deeper truth is that they don't exactly like hate you, let's say. They're just in awe. I would say deep down, they probably wouldn't admit it that way, but like they I think most of the people just kind of in awe with your rebirth cycles. They're like shocked by how you can perhaps lose and still win, and things still glow after that. Protect yourself without becoming bitter, and change without apologizing for it. Like you're not the same person they once knew, and I think that unsettles them because they can't really predict you anymore. Kali energy destroys what needs to fall, and this section's just telling us that you're dancing after the aftermath. You're the proof that endings are not failures, they're just upgrades in life. And I think whether they clap for you or not, perhaps they see it. What we know for sure, they see the glow, they see your discipline, they see your sudden shift, and they see your comeback, and they respect it more than they will ever say it out loud. So that's going to be that for your collective. I hope you find it resonated with you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next prediction. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye. Pile 3. This is messy. This is so messy. Welcome to your pile. This is we have the Six of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, the Emperor, last quarter, full moon, and the Ten of Swords in here. Oh my lord. Okay, let's spill this pile because this is pure mysterious, magnetic, untouchable energy. I think your Opps, I think they're watching this. Like they may act like they don't care, but I think behind closed door they're low-key the most obsessive people of your life, probably, because start with the Six of Pentacles. This is open the curtain. Let me tell you, people cannot stop noticing, I think, how naturally generous you are. And I don't mean like money, favors, I don't mean that. I mean like in the energy, attention, understanding, time, care, it's like you give it freely without strings attached, without needing an applause, without trying to look like I'm the good one, And I think the part that your Opps can admit, like it looks so effortless how you do it. You notice perhaps how they notice how people gravitate towards you and how you make people feel very seen, feel valued, and perhaps they can't really figure it out why it comes so easily when it comes to it. Like you do it so easily, Some might even replay your interactions, in their head and thinking like, how did they even do that? The jealousy is silent, but the admiration is very real in here. Then we have the Queen of Cups. This card is all about emotional depth and intelligence, and I think this makes people stop. Pretty much on their, on people's track. They feel stop on their track because you can sense mood, intentions, undercurrents, and respond with empathy without ever letting anyone manipulate or exhaust you. You listen, you nurture, you care, but you never lose your center. And I think that combination of warmth and boundaries at the same time, it's intoxicating. People secretly wish they had your level of emotional maturity. Some might even feel exposed around you because they know you see them. And I mean that truly see them in a way that no one else ever does. Then we have the Emperor here. I love that because this card, honey, this is the part that perhaps silently intimidates them. Like you are embodying the authority, but not in a showy, demanding type of way. I think you move with structure, decisiveness, and intention. You make rules, you hold space, and you lead your life without apology. And I think people do notice it, whether they admit it or not. Like they may test, push, gossip, but secretly respect that you never flinch, never once you flinch. You set boundaries, enforce them like gracefully, and perhaps your life runs like a very well-oiled machine, while chaos swirled around others. They admire the stability that you've built for yourself, even, well, most of the times no one can ever compare or replicate that one. And now we have two more piles. Two more cards than the rest of the pile. This one specific pile. Let's get into the last quarter. This is about endings, releases, and shedding of what no longer serves you. It's like you don't cling to your old energy, grudges or situation. Perhaps you close chapter cleanly and precisely, and you move on. And oh boy, people notice that. Your Opps may kind of try to rattle you, like a stir drama, or hold you in old patterns, but you just don't budge. You just gotta let it go. I think they see that you're unbuttered in a way that makes them question themselves. It's like it's frustrate them, yes, absolutely, but I think secretly they admire your stability and your ability to let go with grace and precision. Like you're not messy, you're not reactive, you're just evolved. And the full moon here, it rounds just the pile and everything out, because with manifestation, illumination, amplified power, this card. And I think that tells me that you perhaps attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right energy into your life. And it seems so very effortless the way you do it here. You shine very, very bright and, without asking permission perhaps. And people notice it. They might even perhaps like try to downplay it, whisper about it, about luck or timing, but I think they do see how your presence draw things to you. Like it's magnetic, inspiring, intimidating all at once. You're proof that alignment does matter, and they can help but just watch with some mix of awe, and envy. So they try to act neutral, about it. And we have also the 10 of Swords in here. Like again, this is about closure. It's your ability to kind of just be done with a certain something. It could be a situation, betrayal. You've been through some stuff that hurts you. You've been through some stuff that maybe even some fallout with someone or somebody or some situation, but never once it let you stop being yourself and leap into the next opportunity. It's like something about you that they admire is that when you're done with something, you're done with something, and you look so effortlessly doing it, as if like you don't have an ego or something, because some people afraid of their like pride, sting and scratches, and perhaps they might feel afraid of how it look from the others and stuff. But something about you, because we have the full moon as well, you might have gone through a lot of cycles of rebirth or changes in your life, which naturally just kind of makes you understand slowly but sure by experiences that some of the things that you just have to let go for new things to blossom, for new things to enter your life. So I think it's that somehow, the way you give or the more you move everything just comes easier for you. You just rise above everything, collective, always. And I think it's irritating to them, but I think also impressive. They wish they could have done that. I mean, everybody wish they could have done something like that, but you kind of like the real proof that you can actually do it. So yeah, they might pretty much feel annoyed and competitive by this, but I think secretly they admire that generosity, the emotional intelligence, authority, and more than ever, the ability to release the old and manifest something new. Like they can see your power even if they not will never admit it, really. So yeah, it's basically saying you're wise, magnetic, emotionally intelligent, grounded, energetically untouchable. It's like you move life with a lot of generosity, depth, authority, and alignment. Even your so-called haters here is secretly kind of inspired how you navigate these challenges, relationships, opportunities with grace and precision, and feel still very composed doing that. So yeah, let's take a look into the next spread. Okay, this one we have Eagle King, the Diamond Dreamer, the Word Lord. It's about your visionary. It is untouchable, like no one can keep up with me energy, and I think your Opps notice every bit of it. Listen, the Eagle King's first here. Let me tell you, this is regal card. You do have a presence about you. I think you move like someone who sees like the big picture in a way that you know your place, you know your value, you understand yourself, and I think people sense it immediately, even if they act they don't. Most of them don't act they don't see it. So but yeah, I think there is an energy about you that kind of quietly command the respect. Like you don't need to shout about it, you don't need to prove anything. You're just you are a leader by just being yourself, and I think people hate that they can compete with it. It's like they secretly wish like if they had your clarity, your confidence, your ability to soar above petty drama without breaking a sweat, what I would give for that. So that's kind of hilarious to see. Anyway, we have the Diamond Dreamer. This is a part where I think that's like creative, inspired, and perhaps untouchably ambitious. Like you don't think small. You don't just chase trends. Like you build visions. Like you dream, then you make it real. Some people claim they impress, but I think secretly they're like bewildered. It's been a while I use that word here. Like it's like, how does someone keep elevating like that? Just like a lot of people wonder about that here. It's like I think they admire your ability to plan, innovate, and remain focused while still speaking with authority and sparkling with your authentic personality. It's that you are untouchable because your mind, they're constantly expanding, constantly seeing what others can't. And finally, the word Lord. Oh Lord. This is a dangerous energy because if you're on the wrong side of it here, because you communicate with a lot of power, intention, and precision. You chose words like weapons or gift. It really depends on the circumstances here. People notice that you're very articulated, persuasive, and wise. Like you don't waste energy on shallow conversation. When you speak, every hair turns on you. People can listen, everyone listen. So they may act that they're kind of unimpressed by it, but I think deep down they marvel at how carefully and effectively you move through the world. So it's like probably a lot of people have been saying that I don't know how they always seem very much 5 steps ahead. And, when they speak, people actually listens. And there's also someone that like, oh my God, they're always something bigger than the rest of it. As if like, they're like the most important or anything. But like, you do actually more important than them. I'm sorry. Oh, that was so petty. But yeah, I think it's like people have been saying you're very untouchable and it's kind of annoying. And exactly, it's annoying. Of course it's annoying because no one can replicate it. No matter how much they wish they could. You have this vision, ambition, presence, and the ability to articulate it all at once. It's like you're like 10 in 1 type of person or something. It's like even if people act indifferent or like critical, I think the truth is that your Opps are secretly learning, watching, and low-key inspired the way you move. Classic here. You're just someone who builds, rises, commands without needing approval. You're like a witch in every sense. Mysterious, powerful, strategic, untouchable. And I think, this is the part where they kind of like truly deep down admire, but never say out loud. So that would be all for your collective. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that resonates in some way. Bye. Hello there, pal 4. You chose the cast a circle. Ooh, this is quite juicy because okay. Whoo. This is all about your visible power, like your unstoppable momentum and perhaps the fearless energy that leaves everyone literally shook. It's like this is a part that perhaps tells you people see whether they want to admit it or not. I think it makes them low-key obsessed with you. We have 6 of Wands, 3 of Wands, the Chariot, the Fool. Okay, 6 of Wands kicking things off. This is victory card. I think when you walk into a room or step into a situation, people do notice, like not in a shallow showy way, perhaps like in a way that it commands acknowledgement. They may act like it's luck, that say that you're just lucky, but secretly I think they watch your wins with an awe of envy and jealousy, but also awe, of it. Like you carry success very effortlessly, collective, whether that's personal, professional, or just your energy in general. I think people want to replicate it, but they can't. And yes, I think it annoys them while simultaneously making, them admire you here. Like they see that you're recognized, celebrated, respected, all because how you show up. So you're just kind of as if this is giving the energy, probably how they want to say it is like, oh my god, they got recognized for like doing the bare minimum. That's how they say it. For sure you're not do the bare minimum, it makes them feel better about themselves. So we're gonna that's how they probably would say it. And then we have the 3 of Wands in here. This is how I think it's about foresight and expansion energy. So I think you're not winning just by accident. You see things that others don't, collective. You plan ahead. This pile is about envisioning possibilities and perhaps move towards it strategically. And I think your Opps notice that you're not reactive to it. Like you're thinking, anticipating, positioning yourself perfectly while others scramble to catch up. It's like some of them might even try to predict your moves, or like compete, but I think you're already ahead. And I think this is the energy of someone who just don't like go after what you want. Like you don't just do it. You perhaps like you know where you're going and you make it very inevitable. And I think that's what they also kind of pretty much secretly admire, that you actually have a vision. You actually have things how you want to like do, perhaps like in the long term here. You actually have plans intact and you will follow up on that. Most people barely can even think about their next steps, but I think you're just already have it done and planned, and actually you are able to execute it perfectly. I think that's it's giving them feeling jealous, but at the same time, like, how do I replicate that one? How do I have the same mentality as that? Sucks to be them. And then next we have the Chariot card. So this is the unstoppable momentum, and determination. So if even like the obstacles appear, I think you still push forward. Even if people throw shade or try to distract you, it just don't stick. I think you move with a lot of precision, focus, and sheer willpower. And this drives your Opps wild, because they may pretend they don't care, but they secretly notice how unshakable you are. You're literally just like you're cutting through everything. You don't fear, you don't let anything cut through you. You don't let fear, jealousy, opposition slow you down. You are a force that cannot be ignored, and a presence that naturally commands those attention. And then we have the Fool card. This is quite like a mic drop energy over here, because this is the part that leaves people blinking. The part of them that makes them think like, how does they do that without even looking back? The Fool is audacious. They're free, they're curious, they're fearless. Like you leap into new chapters easily. You're not even looking back. You trust your instincts. You get into the unknown paths without hesitation. You embrace adventure. You make risk-taking look very effortless. Some people actually secretly admire your courage. They wish that they could take leaps the way you do, but instead they watch in awe, pretending they're not inspired by it. And also we have the Magic one. It's said there that focus your energy in one thing. Again, you just have this force about you where once you decide something, you're unstoppable. You're not fearful of taking risks. You're not fearful of jumping right into it. And that's scary. But at the same time, like, it's very admiring. It's incredible to see someone who's actually giving it all or nothing type of feeling, So I think people see your success, vision, momentum, and daring energy, and they can hide the part that they actually admire it. Not all people can do that, so you don't need to force your attention to you. You don't need to overperform, because in your blood somehow you have this ability to show up, step up, and shine, and everyone notice it. Pal Forge is all, keep saying that you are unstoppable, magnetic, fearless, strategic, audacious. Even your so-called haters, I think, secretly inspired by your ability to manifest, move, and take bold steps. They can watch, gossip, or even compete about it, but they can never touch that confidence. That combination blends of confidence, vision, bravery that you carry effortlessly. Like effortlessly, as if you don't need to try at all. So let's take a look into the second spread for you. Okay, boo. If the last one we have is about momentum here, I think the second spread we have, which is the Chess Queen, the Swan Queen, and the Desert Prince, it's really giving where your tactical brilliance, grace, and untouchable aura really shine. It's like the layer that makes people stop mid gossip and think kind of like, you know what, I can't figure them out. Like, I wish I could, though. How I wish I could, but I just can't. The Chess Queen started off, honey, this is pure strategy energy. You're always 5 steps ahead. You see moves, anticipate reactions, plan your path like a master. Or, yeah, literally here. People might act like they don't care, but they watch. They study you. They whisper how you always know what's coming. How you maneuver through life without tripping over drama or chaos. And here's the secrets: they do admire it, they envy it, even if they don't admit it. They can fake that level of foresight, patience, and tactical genius, literally. Then we move into the Swan Queen. This is poise, elegance, and composure under pressure. You don't just handle chaos, you glide through it. You keep your balance, your grace, and your charm even when situations are messy. When people are testing you, when the energy around you is turbulent, yes, your Opps notice that. But I think they notice that no matter the drama, no matter the freaking obstacles, you never lose your dignity. You're magnetic without even trying here. It's like people wish they could carry themselves in a way that your calm, effortless confidence is. They're like inspired by you, but simultaneously annoyed because it makes them feel very clumsy in comparison. And last but not least, we have the Desert Prince. This is all about independence, resilient, magnetic mastery rolled into once. You thrive on your own. You don't need validation. You don't need crowd to prove yourself. You don't need approval. You don't wait for approval. You survive, you adapt, and you shine wherever you go. Let's be honest, that's pretty much unsettles people because they secretly admire your freedom, your strength, and your ability to fully be yourself without bending for everyone. They want that kind of independence, but you just naturally embody it. So they would probably say something like, oh my god, they seem to be very 10 steps ahead and they're so calm, it's very unsettling. Like, I can't figure it out how they handle things so gracefully. And it's annoying, but also impressive, it's like they just move through life and everyone is scrambling to keep up. And exactly that, they can't articulate it, but they can feel it. Your strategic mind, your elegance, and your untouchable independence, they see it, admire it, and sadly can't replicate it no matter how much they wish they could. So it's basically that some people might say many things, but you are brilliant, composed, untouchable, independence. Even your haters are secretly inspired by how effortlessly you combine this intelligence, this grace, and this resilience. I think deep down, even though they might act however the Opps would act, deep down they respect and admire every layer of that power. So that would be for your pal. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hope this resonates, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.